welcome back to another stream. I haven't streamed for a couple of months, so this is the first poker stream, and I have to check again all the settings if everything is working properly before we can actually start, unfortunately. I haven't streamed for a couple of months, so this is the first. Okay, the title is, and I have to check again all the settings. The live stream is not correct, but the rest seems okay. Today we're going to explore, to take a look at some hands that I played in a cash game the last week, and poker hand live. I thought I have to analyze the hands anyway in order to make the video for Sunday, the long form video, and therefore I was thinking I could also just stream it so that you also can come along. Nice, okay, that works. I'm gonna check if this works. That works, okay. And the YouTube live stream. That was a bit nasty in the beginning with the testing the whole setup and everything. Okay. Take a look. Okay, so multi-stream is also working. That is pretty good. And I think, yes, I have now everything open that needs to be open. So let's go through some hands today. I made a couple of two long form videos this week where I analyzed some of my cash game hands, and now we're going to go through even more hands. Then I can take you along how I analyze, and sometimes I also use solvers. I'm gonna open the solver so that I can sometimes take a look what is actually happening. If you wanna debate with me about the hands, I'm always glad about constructive criticism. If you can just give me your opinion about what I played and how I played it. So I'm gonna take two hands that I have on my phone still that I haven't put in the book, which I think is a bit interesting. So the first hand we have, let's do record hand history. So we have five of spades. This is actually a pretty, I'm not sure if it was a correct bluff. It was a bluffed hand. Five of hearts. We are at its stacks. We have 400. What's the maximum here? Oh, okay. Man, your callouts are so clear. If you're ever looking for a solo, do remember. What are you streaming, Insurance Barnes? My callouts are so clear. What do you mean by that? Can I just... Oh, I can say where I sit. I'm in the low check position. The cutoff, high check, low check. I'm here. And I can do clear this, I think. Reset. Okay, we are in the low check position. We have 5 of spades, 5 of hearts. It's a 9 max game, yes, that's correct. Seat 1. We are playing a 2-4 here. Oh, not playing a 2-4. I'm not sure if I can actually, if I can put it in as I want to. So move to the button. So we have a straddle here. Yes, you can always join my Discord. It's linked below. You can always ask me there or write me a DM if you want to. I appreciate it. Actions. Yes, so we have big blind, no ante, but we have a straddle is under the gun. It's nice that the tool actually lets us put that in. And I have to transfer it to my booklet as well at some point. So straddle to 8. Now it folds to me in the low check position. I raise it up to 30. Which I'm not so sure about the raise size with 5s here in the low check position. But over a straddle, I mean the straddle can have any 2 cards, I'm not so sure. It's not such a huge raise. It's only like, well, it is a 5x the straddle. So, I mean, it's like 8.5 big blinds. Like 7.5 big blinds. Yeah. Okay, so I make it 30. Then the hijack player actually calls the 30. I didn't really want to see. Oh, I put down MP calls. I think it's probably straddle calls. Yeah, no, it's like big blind, not MP. The big blind actually calls. So we have fold, 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 and a call, and a fold. And the flop comes queen of spades. Then jack of clubs. And 6 of diamonds. So we miss our flop completely. What is now $100? Now the big blind checks. I go 35. As 34. Which is exactly like a 1/3 pot bet. And the hijack comes along. And the big blind folds. Then we have the queen of clubs. And now I go for 80. Which is a little bit more, less than half pot. And he folds. So I win the hand. Save hand. Yeah. So I'm not sure. I'm gonna put it down in my booklet as well. Just so that I have everything. And let's go through the hand together. Delete it here. So we are playing 5 of hearts, 5 of spades. We are in the low check position. And we are playing a 2-4 cash game in Germany. I put that down, 2-4 cash game. I think it was a 9-handed game, but I'm not really sure if it makes any difference. It might have been 10-handed, but 10 or 9 max. I don't think in live cash game it really matters. What matters is that it's a straddle pot, because I never really have an idea what I should do there. Oh, our stack also matters. As a 400. euro, which was 100 big blinds, 9 max. So we have a straddle. And then it folds to me. Fives is probably too loose to open. What do you guys think? Is it too loose to open? Hmm. So I open to 30. It is probably too loose for maybe on the button you could open it. Hmm. But in low jack position, I think it should be a tighter range. Maybe I can ask the solver if it lets me put down the straddles. It probably doesn't because you have to pay even more than I do in order to have it. Is it? Yeah, no, straddle you have to pay even more to actually put it in. So it doesn't really matter. Okay, so I'm gonna open 30 and immediately hijack calls. Not even sure if this hand is actually interesting. Cutoff folds, button folds. Goes to the big blind. Who calls the 30? So pot is now. It's nice that it actually calculates. It's 100. 30 is 30. Then 2 and 8 is 100. So we get Queen of Spades, which is definitely in our range. Jack of Clubs as well, 6 of Diamonds. We unfortunately missed. Big Blind checks his entire range, probably here against 2 people, I would assume. And I don't think it really hits his range. Queen check, 6. It's rainbow. Normally you call in the big blind with like suited connectors, maybe low suited connectors. Maybe he hits a 6, but he can't really. Even if he hit a 6, I don't think he can continue here. So I go for 34, which is like my standard 1/3 range bet. Interestingly, now the hijack comes along for 34, which makes the pot 168. Queen of clubs. If he doesn't have a queen and I barrel here again for 80, I think he has to just let it go. Maybe with a hand like. I'm not even sure if you have like King 10 because the board is now paired. There is a possibility that I'm just having queens, jacks, sixes. I don't know. I am having fives though. Probably fives is a bit too loose. So I'm not sure if I would have opened sixes here. So I put 80. Calculator. So I'm basically putting 80. 168. But just 7. Yeah, I mean, I go 80, which is 74% pot. And he folds. So we get him to fold this hand. I'm not so sure if you take the whole thing into account here. I think the open was just too loose. But he just flats here in the hijack position. Maybe he wanted to have position on me. Then I lead again here. I open. Then I c-bet. And I barrel another one. I would have probably given up if he called here. But he tanked a bit, but not too long. And then he folded. So we take down this pot. And I've written it down now on my notebooklet. Yeah, there are also weird spots where I'm not so. There were strange spots as well in this example. I'm gonna put down this hand, new hand. We are in middle position. Cut off, check, low check, we are here. We have a stack of 400. That's correct, 400. And now we are having, again, a 2-4 game. We have the Queen of Clubs and the Queen of Hearts. So, okay, let's go through. Move to button. Straddle, no, but we have an under the gun limp for 4. And then normally I raise to, I'm just gonna write it down as well, just so I have an idea, even though I lost this one. This was a nasty hand. Queen of Clubs, Queen of Hearts, and it also, it goes to show why you should always raise pretty large. Queen of Clubs, Queen of Hearts. We are now in MP position. It's again in Germany. 2-4 euro cash game. 400 is the stack. It's a 9 max game. Now something nasty happens. So we have a UTG limp. And I make it 20. Normally I open 14, which is like 3.5 big blinds. So over the limp, I decided to go a bit larger, but it's still reasonable. 20, you can open to 16 and then you add the limp. So this is pretty standard. I make it 20, and now, which is a bit nasty. So low check folds, high check folds, cutoff calls the 20, button folds, the small blind calls the 20, big blind folds, and the UTG limp also calls the 20. And we go to a flop, which is king high, king of spade, queen of hearts, 3 of diamonds, and the 4 of hearts. So we have 2 hearts. I also have a heart in my hand, which is not too bad. Hello, how are you doing? Welcome from YouTube. What's your name? I can't pronounce your YouTube username. Hello. We are doing some analysis of my cash game sessions. You can also always give me feedback in the comments what you would have done differently. It's now, which I don't like this position. We have a cutoff call for 20. We have a small blind call for 20. And we have an UTG call for 20, which makes the pot 84. Which is larger than I would have liked. You normally want to have with queens like 1 to 2 callers. Now I have 3. And the king high flop, which is not ideal for me. We have a small blind check. It still favors my range though. Small blind check, a UTG check. Now I decided to go for my c-bet because it's a king high flop. It's good. It's possible that the cutoff flattered with something that completely missed the board. I have the queen of hearts at least, so I have some backdoor possibilities. You're from Ethiopia. Oh, nice. I can call you Abba. Oh, welcome to the stream, Abba. How are you doing today? I decided here in this position to go for 24. Which is even a little bit less than 30%. 33%. Oh no, I messed this up. No. Small blind checks. He checks. I make it 24. I'm not so sure about the c-bet. I mean, it definitely favors my range, but the 3 and the 4 is also pretty much small blind and maybe limp calling range. Maybe 3s and 4s is in there. I'm not so sure what he was trying to do there. 84. It's like what I just did is like a 29% pot bet. I put 24 in there, which is a really small c bet. 29% pot. And yeah, obviously two people are coming along. Doing good. Where are you from? I'm from Switzerland. And yeah, this hand that I played here on stream is from Germany. Sometimes because it's such a small country, I can just travel to Germany to play a bit. And I have a lot of viewers which are also from Germany. So I feel like against 3 people, the c-bet against 1 or 2 people maybe be okay, but against multiple people, and it's such a small c-bet, I might have gone a bit larger. So you're doing? I'm analyzing some poker cash game hands that I played in Germany last week. I'm trying to improve in poker, and I also uploaded a couple of YouTube videos and short if you're interested in poker. That um, it's not so easy for me. It's like I combine trying to get better with content creation a bit. So I uploaded some videos about poker hand analysis. Are you a poker player, Abba? So I go for 24 here. The cutoff puts in the call and small blind as well. So we don't really get what we wanted. 24 small blind also 24. So we have a call and cutoff, a call in the small blind. We get one fold from the UTG guy, which limp folded, and we get D5 of clubs. So we again completely miss here. Pot is now 156 in the pot. Yeah, I mean it's difficult here. Now I'm having a typical small blind, big blind defending range on the board. With my second pair queens, 3, 4, 5 is now on the board. It's rainbow. I don't have my backdoor equity anymore with my queen of hearts. So I decided a small blind checks here in this position. I'm not so sure if the small blind is trapping here. And I decided to check here as well. I decided to wave the white flag. Let's check this back. We have small blind check. You're a student. Oh, nice. But what is MRT? What are you studying? Interesting. I'm also a student. I'm still in university. I check, and now I don't think I can really rep the king here anymore. People are just. This is just not a board that I want to bet, and people also. The cutoff seems really strong here in this position. It was a bit of a gambler. He was in there with any 2 cards, I feel like. He goes for 70, which is 70 divided by 156. It's like 45% pot. But it just feels so strong. He probably has a king now that he's repping. He's probably repping. I don't know what he. Probably king queen, king jack. He bets for 70. And we have a call in the small blind. So now I'm definitely out there. I'm definitely. Small blind just calls the 70. And I fold here. And the cutoff had. And I think this is really funny. I have no idea what the river was. Let's put something mm, blank. The ace of spades. Check and check. And he had king. Um, yeah. Firewage, hello, how are you doing? Long time no see. I mean, how could I have seen you? I've never streamed for the last couple of weeks or months, even, unfortunately. You're studying medical radiology technology? Oh, that sounds interesting. Is it like MRTs? Like, for example, I had back issues, so you have to go into a tube and something, and then they have to scan all of your like muscles and bones. I think it's very interesting, and it's an important job as well. So nice that you're studying. I'm a teacher. I'm studying education at the moment. I'm doing my master's degree, and on the side, I'm sometimes teaching, sometimes working in the supermarket, and sometimes playing poker. So I do a bit of everything. I'm doing fine. I'm doing good. I just had some internships as a teacher, and it was a bit rough because 2 months you just being you have to teach like each lesson and you're being observed by um, the school basically, which has to grade you at how you teach, and it's a bit sometimes for show. I feel like it's sometimes a bit. I don't hate it, but I feel like it's more for show than what you actually gain from the internships in the sense of experience. So it was a bit tough, but I still liked that this was my last internship. Now I only have like theoretical stuff to do, and then my university is also coming to an end in a year. I have to do a master thesis, but that's basically it. So yes, yes, that's what I'm doing, and at the moment I'm trying to improve in poker, and I'm also streaming it. Now this is the first test stream again, but I'm doing YouTube videos in order to reach people as well and to improve myself so I can educate people as a teacher, obviously. When I'm learning something, I also want other people to learn. Um, so, yes, that's what I'm doing at the moment. How are you doing? Are you working something or how is it going health wise? I really didn't get around to streaming a lot, unfortunately. So, this hand is pretty much over. I feel like I lost the minimum here. Opening queens over the limp to 20 bucks. Then on this board, I see bet, probably too small. I can put it in the solver, but I'm not so sure. The solver can only analyze 101 situations. So I can put it in. Let's do a 100 stack. What was the opening size? 5x. Um, let's say I open from fold. Let's say I open from the low check, getting a call from the big blind. Oh, this is only pre-flop. Yeah, okay, unfortunately. So we can't really do it. I wanted to do something with the solver, but the solver won't let me unless I pay. Does your university give scholarships for foreign students? Mm, I feel like they might. Like mine probably doesn't. Or Probably. I mean, it depends a bit. Switzerland is very picky. I feel like when it comes to abroad students, they have to be rather good, but it's not so bad than for example, in the US. But scholarships are more or less in Switzerland. It's sometimes a bit difficult because it's so heavily subsidized. Like for me, it's nearly for free. I pay like $700 a semester. So it's not really a lot, but I'm not really sure if you're like a foreign student, if they give anything. It's better just checking with two callers in the King High Flop. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's like it's even worse. Fire Rage. There are three callers. It's like the limp. By the way, I love this tool, PokerScope, is the website. If you ever want to analyze something, really nice for putting stuff down. Like very heavily visualized. Like the visualization is very nice. Yeah, I mean, it's always such a strange. Live poker is so strange because you have so many callers, just people who are in there trying to get to play hands, and I mean, sometimes it's nice, but it's like if you flop a monster, it's great, but if you're just having like a second pair, it's not so good. So you would just check this here. You would not see better flop here at all. It's probably also it's like the betting size is also completely off. I don't think I should go for like 29% pot. I should just check it maybe. And maybe call. Go into check call mode. Because I mean, I think I lost the minimum here. I lost my opening for 20 and 24 here. But now I've given up here. Because there's no way that I'm good here with second pair of the queen. Yeah, unfortunate. But yeah. Unfortunate, but yes. So let's take a look. Let's study. Let's take a look at my nice games. So what happened? I added. I added my queen hand. I added my fives hand. Thanks for the chat. Have fun, sir. Abba, take care. Good luck with your university. Maybe you're gonna tune in at some other time in the stream. Would like to see you again. But it's always with university. I know it myself. It's always so much to do. People don't have too much time to go through. So I'm also trying to figure out which of these hands I should do the next YouTube video with. What I did is the 8-9 suited hand. This was very interesting. And this check 10 hand as well, which was also interesting. Fire Edge, did you watch a couple of my hand analysis videos on YouTube? Have you gotten around? Let's record a hand. I'm UTG. It's a 2-4 cash game in Germany. What poker site do you play to play poker? So this is PokerScope, which is like a tool for analysis or like to record hands to track profit. All these hands that I'm showing now are live cash games. I've transitioned a bit. I used to play a lot of online poker, but nowadays I play more live poker. Unfortunately, I would love to do the vlogs that some people do on YouTube, like the poker vlogging, but it's like legally it's really difficult in Switzerland because you would have to get approval from the casino to film in there, and since it's a public space and people are there, you would have to probably get signed, like written approval of all the players on your table to do a poker vlog, which is practically, I mean, most people, we have done this in table tennis at some point as well, that if you have three opponents, you can ask them, can we record? And they're mostly fine about it. But it's just such a burden. So I can't really record in the casino. So I do my analysis afterwards on YouTube and stuff. But those are mostly live cash games. This is in Germany. Sometimes I play in Switzerland. But yeah, I'm trying to transition a bit more to live cash games. It's, I think, more fun for me and it's more trustworthy. I don't know. Online, a lot of people can just use live solvers. Sometimes they can use bots, and I'm just not so confident. And I also don't have an edge. Now I see why it's so fishy. Ah, yeah, sure, it's a live cash game. It's not online. It's a 2-4, it's quite low stakes, but the problem with Switzerland is like because the cost of living is so high, if they have to employ dealers and staff and like keeping the lights on, literally, the smallest stake they can offer in Switzerland is like a 5-5, which you have some semi-pros as well in the 5-5 game, which is like as like a beginner or intermediate player, I would describe myself. It's just not really great. So sometimes I go across the border into Germany, play the 2-4 game, which is even more fishy, and people are not that great. But I'm also not a pro. I'm just like someone who's trying to improve. So, and it's very limp heavy. It's very limp call heavy. So, I mean, where are we sitting? This is us here. Sit here. We have a stack of. What is our stack? And it's stacked. We have 430 euros. Let's take a look at this hand. I'm having pocket aces here. And now you're gonna see another hand where you realize why it's so fishy. Ace of clubs, ace of hearts. Let's. Do you normally play in an 8 or 9 player table? Yeah. It's mostly 9 players. Sometimes they squeeze in a 10th player. Yeah, that's what they might do at some point. 9 is like the normal thing. 8 if it's more like short-handed. But they are really not. I don't know why, but when I like here, they mostly try to really fill the table and then they open another table. They would never like do 2 tables of 7 people. They would rather just do 1 10 table and have 4 people on the waiting list. I'm not so sure. I would personally open multiple tables and having people sit there, but because it gives double the rake, but you have to you get double the dealers as well. That makes sense, but I'm just trying to navigate these live cash games. So I'm opening. So oh no, we already did it wrong. I'm sitting here. Actually, I'm under the gun +1. Now I have to reset. That's a bit stupid. So we are here with a 400 stack, and we have ace of clubs, ace of hearts, and yes, that's correct. So end to actions, UTG calls. So you see the first limp already. It looks like nearly each hand was start with a limp, which is horrible to put it in the solver because the solver can't really do limps. And it can't do multiple people post flop as well. Maybe you have to pay even more in order to do it. So I raise over the limp to my standard size of 18. Which is like 3.5 big blinds plus the limp. Which is pretty common here. Normally people don't even add the limps in the cash game, in the live cash game. They just open their normal size, which can be quite large. But here I open 3.5, which is 14 normally, and I add the limp. And then you see what happens. UTG2, like middle position, folds, low check comes along for 18. Then we have the button comes along for 18. We have the small blind who cutoff folds, button folds, small blind comes along. The big blind folds, and the UTG who limped. He limp called nearly each hand. Whenever he limped, he would call. So I'm not sure if the adjustment would be to just go larger, to charge him even more, because he would limp call. He would never free bet, is what I'm saying. He would never free bet. He would just always limp call. I'm not so sure if this would be the adjustment. I don't want to over adjust, but it's probably what I should have done here in this specific instance. For example, now I'm having 4 calls. It's a 5-way pot with aces. And sure, check high board. This doesn't seem too scary. Maybe there are a couple of straight draws or flush draws which come here. So in this example, small blind checks. I'm a bit lucky here. Small blind checks, UTG checks. I'm having my aces. I decided to c-bet here to shake off a couple people. I decided to go for 40, which yeah, it's like a middling sizing. It's 44% I put down. I want to charge all the draws. If there is like a straight draw or a flush draw, I want to charge that, but all fold, which is also okay because I gained a pot of like $94 with like 4 people who just called 18 and then they folded to a c-bet, which I'm not even so sad. I'm not sad. I take down the pot with aces. So, but it's just so nasty to play. I mean, it is just possible that you open with aces here. Why not go bigger or even overbet? Would you consider an overbet there? Yes. What would have been the idea? How much would 74? It's like you would have gone a bit more like 74 5% pot or even an overbet, like $120 or something. In the game, I was just thinking, I mean, I kind of wanted to have like someone with a spade draw to continue, which is they don't have enough pot odds to call if I go 44%. If they have like something like 8-5, let's say they have ace-5 of spades. So they can't really continue here, but they would probably do so I can charge them more. An overbet would probably get them to fold. And I think the only thing that really calls an overbet here is like either a combo draw or a set, probably. I just didn't want to go too crazy against these 4 people because low check, like so you would have gone larger. Interesting. Yeah, sizing is at the moment what I'm really studying. You guys can tell me what you think in the comments. Do you guys agree with Fire Rage? Like lots of draws these fishes can have make them pay. Yeah, it's a good argument. I'm gonna put it down. I'm gonna put a little note here. I'm to be honest, I don't even have an overbetting range. I think I've never overbet unless I have the absolute cold stone cold nuts on the river. When I have like a nut flush and I have like 300 behind and the pot is 250, then I would shove, like an overbet shove. But I'm not so sure if I actually have an overbetting range on the flop. Yeah, sizing is always interesting. Maybe you should charge them even more for their draws if they have it. I mean, I also paid too much probably for my draws at some point because I kind of justified with implied pot odds and stuff, but yes. It's an interesting hand. It's quite kind of an easy hand. I don't think it's too difficult. Not an absolute monster hand, but it's a solid hand. So let's go through. I'm just adding these at some point. Maybe Firewatch, you can also tell me what hand you think is very interesting to maybe make a YouTube video about. I made 2 of them. This hand, you guys can always check it out on the YouTube channel in the short or the long form, depending on what you like more. Here I opened 8-9 from the hijack. I flopped the middle pair. Then I ended up having a flush, and then I got min raised on the river, and I call, and I beat a straight. And the other hand was this one, where I opened check 10 off, which is absolutely loose, and I was toxic tilted there. I got 2 calls, and I somehow make a river and a straight on the river, and I decided to check call here. And I beat king 5 offsuit for the river to 2 pair. So these are the 2 hands that at the moment that I have. And now let's take a look. Yes. Record hand history. Let's do a couple more. These are just squeeze spots which I think are interesting. I'm in the small blind here. I'm really proud for this squeeze actually, because the solver feels like it's the perfect squeeze size, and my position also matches. So I'm having king of clubs, jack of clubs, which is normally not a hand that I include when squeezing, but I realized that I need to include more of these hands for squeezes, because they are profitable, and it protects my range a bit that people don't always just know that I have aces when I squeeze. I'm in the small blind, so it folds around 2 interactions. The UTG, which opens here, also UTG1, so folds, then opens to 12, which is like a rather small size, but I mean, I opened to 14, it's probably fine. I check 12, and button 12. And now I decided to raise it up to 16, which the solver thinks is a perfect squeeze size here. 3 times the open plus 2 flat calls, that's like 5 times 12, which is 60. Big blind gets out of the way, and all fold. So this is an interesting squeeze hand where I won a big blind, and I won 12 big blinds? 10 big blinds. 10 big blinds. Because yes, $40 exactly is what this squeeze made me. I have to check my email quickly. I applied for school, let's take a look. Nope, I don't have an email. It's nasty. What do you guys think about squeezing? It's still one of my weaknesses. I feel like I squeeze too little. And not enough at all. Same thing with here. I'm also in. Oh, this is a free bet. It's not really a squeeze, but it's still a free bet. We are in middle position. Our stack is 400. And we have King of Hearts, King of Spades. UTG opens to 14. And UTG1 just calls the 14. And now we have a re-raise spot. I re-raise to 16. And all fold. Yo buddy, I'm one of you follow, love to connect on Discord. Hello, skinny wall. How are you doing? Welcome to stream. So all fold here in this spot, but I take down with kings. 214 bucks opens plus blinds. For 34 bucks with kings. I mean, obviously you want to have more value than 34, but it's still okay, I think. I'm not complaining about that. As long as if it's uncontested, I mean, statistically, I think you get about 5 big blinds each time you're dealt kings, so I feel like that's alright. So, those are 2 normal free betting spots. And what else is there? I can also put in the next hand. This one is absolutely, I don't think it's interesting, but I still wrote it down just for we are having 480, so I made a little buck, a couple of bucks in this session. We're having ace of hearts, 8 of hearts. It folds to the button. Oh, this is a 5-5 cash game actually. Haha, this was played in Switzerland. 5-5 cash game. And move to button actions. UTG folds. It folds around to the button here in this position, who opens to 15, which is such a small size. For a live cash game, it's just a 3x open from the button. Small blind fold, and now I raise to 50. And the button folds. No, he calls, and it's the ace of clubs. Jack of clubs. And 6 of clubs. I lead here. I lead for 40. I feel like I've read in the book that you should always go small but consistent on monotone boards, and I think this is a case. I'm having top pair, so I have some equity if he doesn't have a club, and he checked his cards for the clubs and he let it go. So this one is also a nice hand, which I only included because I feel like I put I pressured him with the free bet with the re-raise before the flop, and then I pressured again on the flop, which is monotone board, ace jack 6, which hits my range pretty well. Maybe I have a club. If he doesn't have a club, he has to let it go. So this is a nice standard hand here as well. Also, sometimes you just have to defend against free bet, against an open from the button, not to get your blinds stolen all the time. And here the 38% pot bet, absolutely enough. So let's check. I could check the solver for this one. I'm not even sure if this was actually a good free bet. Let's analyze it. So it was a 3x open from the button. Yes. So it folds to the button, who opens 2.5x, let's say, folds to the big blind. Which actually the solver says is just a call. The solver doesn't like my free bet at all, but I decided to go for it anyway. Let's say we have ace 5 of hearts, doesn't really matter. I decided to go for the raise. The button calls, and now ace jack 6 hits, and we are having, yeah, the solver kind of likes my donk here. It donks like 1/4 of the time, so it's not always doing it, but it doesn't completely hate it. It has some checks, it has some donks as well. Check 6 offsuit. Oh, 2 pairs. Okay. With all with a 6 in it. Yeah. It realizes the monotone flop actually favors. Not sure if this flop actually favors a 3-better. Maybe the 3-better has a couple of more suited things in their range, but it's probably only like ace, king, queen on this flop of clubs, which might be interesting. I'm not even sure if I would just donk out if I flop the nut flush here on this board. But interesting. There are a couple of hands which I think are just very difficult to play. Let's add another one. This is an interesting one. I feel like it's a 5-5 live cash game. We are in the low check position. We are sitting here, and our stack is $500. We have Jack of Diamonds, Jack of Hearts. Let's go, and is it straddled? No, it's not straddled. It's not straddled this time. They sometimes are quite quite heavily straddled. UTG Limp survive, which I always like. Irony 30. It's like my normal size. I normally open 25, but with a limp, I just always add the limp. So we are opening to 30 from the low check with my checks. I have to always drink a bit. I'm sorry. The small blind comes along. Calls 30. The big blind gets out of the way, and the UTG limp calls, and we are having 10 of club, 10 of diamonds. 10 of diamonds and the deuce of clubs. Is 95% pot. Small blind checks. Duty checks, and now I'm kind of deciding on whether or not to c-bet here. I'm having, since I hold the check of diamonds, I feel like there are probably not so many draws with the diamonds, and if there are, I can charge them a bit. I decided to go for my normal c-betting size here, which in this case is 40. It's just 42% pot, so it's not so small, but it's also not really large for full. I win a hand with jacks. Always happy to win a hand with jacks. Multi-way SRP. Okay. This one is not so bad. Let's take a look. I want to add all my hands so that I can analyze afterwards. We are in the big blind here. Feel free to always tell me what you think about the spots. Ace of clubs, king of diamonds. Our stack is 500. The 10 max game. And the straddle is on. Straddle is on, $10. Now we have a UTG limp. It's always, I'm not so sure. Like, with these limps, it's always difficult to play. UTG limp, cut off also limps. It's very limp heavy, the game. I said that before. It folds to me in the big blind, I make it 50. I'm not sure if the open size is correct. I normally go for 25 without the straddle. I should have probably gone larger. 50 is too small. I don't like the sizing afterwards. Because it gives it gives kind of a good price. So the straddle calls. Fold and fold. We get jack of a similar flop as before. Jack of clubs. Oh no. Look at that flop. So we get jack of clubs, 10 of clubs, 5 of spades. I can still have the overpairs. I'm in the free battle. I'm wrapping aces or kings here, or queens. I go 50. And he folds. Just 40% of pot. Yes. Gets the job done. I'm not so sure. The c-bet check 10-5. Does it favor the straddle? I mean, the straddle can have anything, I guess. After the hand, he folds. He folded, and then he told me, "Oh, a set of tens or jacks is good here." And then I'm like, "Okay, yeah, it would be good, but I'm not having that." But so interesting. Interesting. So, tell me also if you like these analysis videos or not. If you can learn something, because I feel like I can definitely learn something. Now I have to choose a. I have to make a decision of which of these hands are actually good enough to make a video. For the long form analysis. I feel like this hand with the queens is an interesting one. So this one is probably, I feel like, an interesting one. Show cutoff shows king three of clubs. Yeah, I mean, this one is just such a weird hand. So let's take a look at it again. Maybe I'm gonna do the YouTube video, the next one, about this one. It's a strange hand. I opened with queens. I get a flat call, which turns out the cutoff actually had king three off, so which is so stupid. I would have probably raised here. My king three. The charge ace king, king queen. But the small blind ended up having. Strange. Really, really strange. But yeah. Ah, that's not bad. Can analyze spots here. Pre-flop. Yeah, I'm good pre-flop. But on the flop, I pretty much need a queen to actually turn. Yeah, I'm down to 2.4%. I'm having one out. Yeah. I mean, I don't know that he's holding the queen of diamonds, but I'm still having one out. Yeah, it's not that easy. What would be an interesting hand to do the next analysis, a deeper analysis on YouTube? These are all pots that I just take down with a C bet. All of them, all the three on the top, which are also very important for your win rate. That you take down pots on the turn, that you don't have to always go through with all streets. Yes, but there are no real interesting decisions. I feel like this one was probably a hero call. Was this a hero call? A hero call would also be interesting. Yeah, not so sure. Hmm. These were the interesting ones. This one is also. I think I can do this one. Where I open cut of two limps. Oh no, I just limped as well. This is a four base, an 8-way limp pot. Really? This is such a weird hand. These hands are just so crazy. I mean, I didn't even include it in my book because it's such a stupid configuration. I might play today in poker. 2-4 game or something. Interesting. So, I feel like I'm gonna end my stream today. We ended 1 hour of analysis, and I feel like I've had enough now. You can check out my long form videos if you want to see more content. And I'm also thinking of maybe playing some chat or gambling a bit and do some content on that part as well. So, this was it for today's stream. I hope you check out the next one. Probably Sunday there's a long form video coming as well. For one of those hands is probably this one which I'm analyzing here, the Jack 9 off and Jack 9 suited where I flop a flush. And make sure to subscribe here on the channel here on YouTube and follow me on Twitch as well.